We are looking at chapter number 6, Human Resources. Question and answer on human resources. Why are people considered as resource? Human beings, they are the most important resources of the globe. That is, for nation also they are very important resource. Why they are significant? Because they have brains, and had they not utilized their brains, the other resources of the nature, the world, would not have found any utility. So in other terms, you can say that human resource is the ultimate resource which actually make other things as a resource. What are the causes for the uneven distribution of population in the world? It is because of there are various reasons: climatic conditions, the topography. Few people, like very less people or few people, live in high latitude areas, tropical deserts, mountainous terrains, forest areas. While if you talk about the plains, most of the people reside in plains. Fertility of soil, availability of fresh water, minerals, these are also major geographical factors behind this. And some social factors are also there that boost the density of the population in a region. These are better housing, education, health facilities. So places also with cultural and historical significance, they are also populated. And employment opportunities, these are also another attraction for large chunk of population to choose a particular place to live. Next is the world population. Let us see the question first. The world population has grown very rapidly. Why? Actually, we are witnessing exponential growth. The world population has growth because in medical science there is a development. So the death rate has decreased significantly. Now less people die than earlier times. There is no way to decrease the birth rate, because people are getting married and they are giving birth to children. So the population is increasing by the rate it was already, but the death rate is significantly decreased. That is why we have exponential growth in the population. Now discuss the role of any two factors influencing population change. So there are various different factors, like the geographical factors. So people prefer to live on plains more than mountains and plateaus, and they live more in moderate climates, not very harsh, like they don't want any very cold or very warm environment, that is extreme cold or extreme hot. From the agriculture point of view also, fertile lands, these are preferred. An area with mineral deposits are also more populated. When we talk about economic factors, people prefer to stay or live in the places where there are industries. That is, they can get the better employment, and because of this, industrial cities are always seen as thickly populated. Then we have what is meant by population composition. So population composition, that is the structure of population with various respects, like you can say age, gender or sex, or literacy, and the occupation, the health facilities, economic conditions. These are all called the population composition. Then we have, what are population pyramids? How do they help in understanding about the population of a country? So the population pyramid is a pictorial way to describe the population composition. The shape of the population pyramid, actually it's a diagrammatical or figure type representation. So the shape of population pyramid of a country is indicative of various information, like the size towards the bottom may be used to estimate the birth rate, while the size towards the top to estimate the death rate. So a population pyramid, as we said, if in which the base is broad and top part is narrow, means that although a large amount of birth is taking place, not all grow up to be adults and old. That means they die before reaching certain age, and this indicates a large death rate. For example, Kenya shows this kind of pyramid. So this means high population growth rate. If we talk about countries like India, the death rate is decreasing. So the pyramid is broader in younger age groups and the size of the pyramid decreases steadily. Take the correct answer. Which does the term population distribution refer to, or what does? The answer is the way in which people are spread across a given area. This is population distribution. Then which are the three main factors that cause population change? The answer is birth, death, and life expectancy. Then in 1999, the world population reached, the answer is 6 billion. What is population pyramid? The answer is it's a graphical or a pictorial representation of age, gender or sex composition of a population, that is male or female, along with age. I'll show you this. This will come. We'll discuss about this in great detail. Complete the sentence below using some of the following words. So we have some words given. So when people are attracted to an area, it becomes densely, so we'll use this densely populated. Factors that influence this include favorable climate. So we have favorable climate, and then good supplies of natural resources and fertile land. So this is fertile, and then we have favorable, like these things we have to use here. Discuss the characteristics of a society with too many under 15s and one with too few under 15s. So the society with too many under 15s, that is 0 to 15, means we need more schools to be able to educate them. There should be efficient and laborious teachers. There should be provision for items necessary for children, child amusement, like toys, etc. And children are prone to diseases, so we need proper facilities of hospital. In the hospital, this has to be improved in the society where we have too many under 15s. But when we say too few under 15s, very less, that is more are beyond say 65s, etc. So in the society with too few under 15, that is most of the people are old or elderly people, they will have more mature people. Pension schemes will work there fruitfully here, and this pension scheme has to be floated, and means government has to see about that. There may be the need for wheelchairs because some elderly people may not walk properly, and labor supply will be easier, or these people will also need hospitals, especially for the elderly diseases or problems. Choose the correct option. The most populated continent is Asia. China and India are in Asia. The least number of people live in this continent, D, Antarctica. According to population, what is India's rank in the world? What is the rank Indians have? We are second. The first one is China. Which of these countries have population below 100 million? The answer is Peru. What is the average population density of the world? The answer is 45. That is 45 persons per square kilometer. In which country is the city of Osaka located? It's in Japan. Manchester of Japan is Osaka. Which of these countries is notable for the number of people who immigrate outside from there? The answer is Sudan. Which of these characteristics of population pyramid indicates the lowest level of literacy and development? It is broad base, narrow top. Fill in the blanks. Dash is considered to be the ultimate resource. Human is considered to be the ultimate resource. Human resource. More than 90% of the world's population reside in just 10% of the total land surface. The top 10 countries in population cover about 60% of the total world population. Dash is the most populated country in North America. It's USA, United States of America. The world's population reached a billion in the year 1820. Birth rate and death rate are usually expressed in the terms of per this 1,000 people, means per 1,000. So this is birth per 1,000 and deaths per 1,000. The difference between the birth rate and the death rate is called the natural growth rate of population. The age group 0 to 15 comes under the economically dependent group. Economically dependent group because these are just kids and they need money from or any resources from their parents in order to survive. True and false. Many more people live to the south of the equator than the north. No, many more lives north rather than south. So this is false. Then each of the top 10 populated countries have population over 100 million. This is true. South Central Asia has the highest density of population. This is true. The population of the world doubled between 1820 to 1999. No. In the United Kingdom, UK, the birth rate as well as the death rate is low. True. Japan and Bangladesh are very densely populated. We can conclude that both are economically underdeveloped. No, it is not the case. Japan is developed country. Bangladesh is underdeveloped, or you can say still developing. Now matching. Fertile plains, will match it with Guangzhou in China, F. I'm matching it with F. Then very hot climate with the Sahara Desert. Extremely cold, the extremely cold climate, extreme winter, you can say. The answer is Antarctica. And the upper part of course, Canada. Then cultural significance, it's Jerusalem. Then diamond mines, South Africa. Oil, it's the Middle East. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Iran, Iraq. In what respect do different human beings differ? Human being differs in terms of age, sex, education, ethnicity, culture, physical and mental strength. With the help of figures, describe how population varies across continents. Now, figures means numbers you have to say. So around 60% or 61% of the world population lives in Asia, 12% in Europe. So let me write it like this. 61% in Asia, 12% in Europe, 13% in Africa, then 8% in Central and South America, 5% in North America, and 1% only in Oceania. If 600 people live in your colony and the number of your colony is 2, or this is the area, area of colony is 2 square kilometer. What is the population density? So this is number of people per unit area, that is this is 2. So you can say 600 by 2 is 300 people. 300 people in 1 square kilometer, and this unit in a unit square kilometer, unit area, it's 300. So we can say density of population is 300 persons per square kilometer. Compare the population density of the world with that of India. The population density of world is around 45 on an average persons per square kilometer. While if you talk about India, it's over 320. It has grown now per square kilometer. The figures have changed. How does climate affect the population distribution of an area? People prefer to live in moderate climate. That is, they don't want to live in extreme cold or extreme hot. So modern climate regions are densely populated. That is why. What is life expectancy? Expectancy is the number of years an average person can expect to live based on the data. Say 65 years or 70 years, like that. What is the general trend of migrations from one country to another? Why is it so? People migrate from less developed countries to more developed countries. So this is done for better employment opportunities or other facilities, or maybe their country might be facing some problem like civil war, etc. So they just migrate. What is an age sex pyramid? So this is a pyramid or a figure or a graph. It's actually a graph. It's not a pyramid. It's a graph showing the number of males and females under certain defined age groups. Which of these countries is more densely populated? One with small population in a large area and one with large population in a large area. So a country with large population in small area is more densely populated. That is, we have a small area and so many people are living here. Large people are living here. This is more densely populated. Described how various factors affect population distribution. So topography, favorable climate, fertility of soil, the availability of fresh water and minerals, these are the major geographical factors. So topography, climate, fertility, water and minerals. These are the geographical factors, major geographical factors which are affecting population density of a region. So as we saw that people want to live or prefer to live in plains rather than on mountains and plateaus where they can find some moderate climates. Now they don't want hot or cold climate, but people live there also, but they are less. From the agriculture point of view, fertile lands are preferred. Most of the civilization are developed near the fertile lands of rivers only. Areas with mineral deposits, these are also mostly populated. And social factors that boost the density of population in a region, these are also like housing, better housing, education and health facilities. These are good factors where people would live or prefer. And places with cultural and historical significance, they're also usually populated, like Jerusalem, like Banaras. And employment opportunities, this also is another attraction for large chunk of population because they'll get job according to their skill and they will have good money to live, to have a good life. Describe how the population of the world has grown in history. What has caused the population explosion? So the world population grew steady initially. It reached 1 billion in 1820. But the next 2 billion were added in just 150 years. By 1970, the population was 3 billion. In the next 29 years, by the 1999, the population had means gone up to 6 billion. So the population explosion, the reason because of the behind the population explosion is growth in medical facilities, which has decreased the death rate by a large extent, and the second rate which we talk about is the birth rate, which is ever increasing. What are the factors affecting the population change in a region? So factor affecting the population change in a region, these are birth rate, death rate and migrations. Birth rate, death rate and migrations. So birth rate, what is this? This is a statistic that measures the number of live births per 100 people. Death rate is again like this statistic is measure of the number of death per 100 people. So along with this birth and death rate, the other factor is migration, where population is how we devise the population change or analyze. So migration refers to the movement of people from one area or one region to another. People leaving a country is called immigrants, and the people or the phenomena is called immigration. And people arriving in a country is immigration, or that is immigrants, and the phenomena is called immigration. So if this is a country, those people who are living, they are called Those people who are living are called immigrants, and those people who are coming here are called immigrants. I, this is E. What is population pyramid? What is the significance of what information can it give? Look at the population pyramid in this figure and answer 3 questions. So here is a population pyramid. Population pyramid is on the x-axis you have age range. On the y-axis you have percent. How many people are there? So you start with 0. On the left hand side you have males. On the right hand side you have females. So how many people or percentage are there? So here we have say 0 to 4. So how many are there? How many males, how many females? So this is how we make. So this is the proper formation, like it may come here like this. So all these makes a proper shape and we call it as a pyramid. Now what can you say about the birth rate of the country? Give evidence. So if you see the population pyramid, first of all let me tell you about the population pyramid. Then we'll go to the actual questions. So population pyramid, as you saw, that it's a pictorial way to describe population composition. An age-sex pyramid gives information about the distribution of different age group of people based on the gender. The shape of age-sex pyramid of a country indicates a lot of information about the country. The side towards the bottom, we can estimate the birth rate. The sides towards the top estimate the death rate. The population pyramid in which the base is broad and the top part is narrow. This means although a large number of birth takes place, not all grow up to be adults and old. This means they die before reaching these ages, which indicates large death. For example, large death rate, Kenya shows this type of pyramid. This means high population growth rate. If you talk about India, the death rate is decreasing, so the pyramid is broad in the younger age group and size of the pyramid decreases steadily. Now let us come to the question. What can you say about the birth rate of the country? If you see here, the given population pyramid has a base narrower than some of its part. This means the birth rate of the country is not too much. This area, this region is narrow. So birth rate is, you can say, less. It's less. What does the shape at the top of the pyramid indicate? This is the top. So if you see here that as you go to the top, the shape indicates more people reach the old age. That means it has lower death rate as well, and people are living up to 85 plus or 85 years. Which country out of these is most likely to have this pyramid? A developing country, a developed country, or an underdeveloped country? You see, this is most likely a developed country. The population growth rate seems to be controlled. The young form a major part of the population, so the development level must be high. So these were the question and answer of this topic. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.